Hey there, my name is Nathan Jass. I'm the creator of the Back Office Toolkit. Thank you for joining me today. In this webinar, we're going to take a look at just what the Back Office Toolkit is, why you need it in your business, how it can help you to run your business more efficiently, make better strategic decisions, all with less work and less time. So I'm going to jump into a presentation here. As I said, my name is Nathan. I'm your back office ninja. So essentially what that means is I understand the back office really, really well. I like to help other people understand the back office as well. And that expertise is built into this tool that I've created, and just really allows it to be what it is. So I've been a developer since about 2006. With a focus in web development and also computer automation. So the way my mind works, essentially, whenever I see something that is repetitive at all in a manual sense, I immediately jump to what's behind that, how can it be automated. Computers are really, really good at doing repetitive automated tasks, and I have focused on that for a very long time. I joined doTERRA in 2016, and pretty immediately saw just some needs within the back office. And we'll go into sort of what is in the back office and also what's missing, and how the toolkit bridges that gap. So before we get started, who loves running your numbers? I mean, does this describe you, someone who's just, when you're analyzing, say, the detailed genealogy, this just makes you feel vibrant and alive? Probably not many people. However, on the other hand, I think we all know in the back of our head that the numbers, right, the volume and the details of our team are an important and necessary part of running a business. Right? Every business, you've heard the saying, data is king, right? There's this sense that without being in touch with and knowing about what's going on at a lower level, you're not going to be able to make really great high-level decisions about where your business is headed. And this is no less true within doTERRA. So we're going to look at a few scenarios, and I want you to know I personally know people, at least one person who falls into each of these categories. All right, so have you ever bought in for rank? So you say, this month I'm going to hit silver, gold, platinum, whatever, and you strategize and you buy in, you buy up volume in certain legs to make sure that you hit that rank, knowing that it's going to be worth it. And at the end of the month, you find that you miscalculated something and you're a few PV short of reaching that rank, and you've invested time and resources and money and yet not achieve that goal. Have you realized and looked at your team and thought, I have more than enough volume here to be whatever rank or hit whatever bonus, but my structure is so poor that I'm not hitting that? These are, situations where you need to do sort of a massive restructuring of your team in order to achieve those goals. Have you spent hours updating a whiteboard or a spreadsheet to track your progress towards a goal? So this is several times a week, going in and adding up LRP, adding up orders that have gone through, seeing what your gaps are, how far away you are, where you need volume, manually. Have you seen people that you know walk across stage at convention for whatever rank they are and wonder, why can't that be me? And feeling like, I desperately want to hit that rank. I want that recognition. I want that income to help however many people it is that I would need to be at a certain rank, but just not able to get there. Have you spent hours as a leader prepping for a mentor call with one of your builders or one of your downline leaders, so that you are aware and know what their numbers are, so you can know how to best help them? And so you're spending time not only on your own immediate team and what contributes to your rank and bonuses, but also having to redo all those manual calculations for for another position on your team. If any of this applies, then this tool is for you. Turn that off. It's for you. So ultimately, whether you've experienced these things personally or if you know someone who has, a lot of these problems, with very few exceptions, are avoidable because they really boil down to one key problem, and it's an information gap. And what I mean by information is different than data, right? So information is taking all the little pieces of data within your team and organizing that into actionable, summary, strategic information that you can actually act on. So that is what we actually need. We need the information, but the data that we need to sort through to get that is in the back office. That's the good part. That's what is in the back office. There is plenty of data. So, the fact, though, is that many of us are disconnected from that data for a number of reasons. It can be that it's intimidating to look at. It can be that as our team grows, it gets harder and harder to manage. Maybe we were just never taught to do or how to do anything with it, or we don't have tools to help make it easy. So the reaction to the fact that the back office is an important piece of the puzzle tends to go one of two ways. One, we do nothing. These are the people who wonder why someone with a team half their size is outranking or out-earning them, or who end up needing help later to reorganize their structure to be more strategic. They ignore the back office, place people wherever, and end up leaving money on the table. Second category is the people who try harder. So these are my whiteboard hustlers, whiteboard warriors. They're staying on top of the numbers. That's a part-time job for you. You do it diligently, which is very commendable, but it's a manual process. And part of being human is that we make mistakes. So we end up with a great plan, but we aren't sure that it's going to work. And sometimes it doesn't. And we won't know that until it's too late. So what is the solution to this? How can we avoid having to manually sort through our back office data, but still get the benefits of the information that we know we need? This is where the toolkit comes in. So the purpose of the toolkit is to do all of the complicated number crunching analytics for you so that you can stay connected to the information, making great decisions while actually having more time to do the things you love. It's a win-win. From knowing who you need to reach out to on your team, knowing where to place new enrollments, knowing whether you're on track to meet your goals or not, the toolkit gives you the information you need for all of this at a glance. In the end, what we really don't want to be doing is swimming through numbers in the back office, right? We want less of looking at pages of data. Instead, we want more working through simple lists of actionable items that's based on that data, and ultimately to be spending more time building relationships, supporting our teams, and promoting our product. So, what is the back office toolkit? At a high level, it is, number one, secure. So this is not a website where you send your data to me, right, to the back office as a company. Your data always stays local on your computer. This was actually a huge point to corporate. So this has been thoroughly reviewed by IT and legal and compliance at corporate. And because of a number of things, including the local security piece, they have given it the green light to run with. So this is an okay thing to use from corporate's perspective. You are not sharing your data with a third party. Number three, it's automated. So the toolkit, once you get it installed, is useful right out of the box. You don't have to configure it. You don't have to go in and set your qualifiers or pick your structure for your bonuses. Everything is determined for you automatically, but it's also flexible. So you can change whatever you want and save those settings. So what does it actually do? There's three main sort of categories of what the toolkit does. The first, it does projections. So we're going to look at that in detail. Second is it provides a number of planners that help you strategize and plan for goals. And the third, it provides reports that are really, really cool filters against your team that let you know who to contact, essentially, in any given situation. So let's look at projections first. There are 4, 5, or 6 different categories of projections. So at a basic level, the toolkit does LRP projections. This is kind of core to everything else. So the toolkit's looking at all of the volume that is already gone through. That's your actual. And then it looks at LRP that's scheduled between now and the end of the month. That is the additional projected volume. So the toolkit adds all that up for you and gives you, all throughout it, it gives you where you currently are and where you're going to be based on LRP projections. Second will be rank projections. So this is where knowing the LRP volume on your team is only a small piece of the puzzle. What's more important is knowing how that volume, what that actually means, right? So how that volume affects the ranks of everybody underneath you, because that's going to ultimately determine what your rank is and what your commissions are going to be. There's bonus projections built in, so we can look at Power 3 bonus, again, projecting out, including that upcoming LRP volume. And there's qualifier projections. So this is going to be identifying who the best qualifiers are on your team well in advance of them actually becoming qualifiers. And unilevel projections. So the toolkit's able to estimate both what you're currently earning for unilevel within the month and also what you would be projected to earn at the end of the month if all LRP goes through. So those are projections, and then we've got 2 planners built into the toolkit. The first is a rank planner. So this lets you see exactly how far away you are now and how far away you will be after LRP from a target rank. You don't have to configure this at all. All of the structures for the different ranks are built in and pre-populated with the best potential qualifiers. So this goes back to the qualifier projections, right? That's used within the rank planner. And again, it's flexible, so you can adjust and save qualifiers as needed. And then similar to that, there's a Power of 3 planner. So this shows your whole 1500 Power of 3 structure, easily spotting where the gaps are, and then also knowing who on your team is close or currently receiving their $50 bonus themselves. When we get to reports, there's a bunch of different reports. And the first is a team recognition report. This encourages top performers on your team. So you can look at top enrollers, but in a bunch of different ways. So it's not just who has the most enrollments, but you can look at who has the most large enrollments, or who has the single highest enrollment, or who has the most volume across their enrollments. Things like that that help you as a leader to recognize and encourage people on your team. Then we get into a bunch of reports that are essentially filters based on different things. So we have LRP-based filters. So we get to look at like ordering trends and activity and filter our team based on that. We have enrollment-based reports. So you get to filter your team by enrollment date and order volume for enrollments. And then order-based. So this lets us look at patterns in order history for people on our team. I want to do a really quick demo. So this is going to be very high level, not getting into detail with each feature, but just sort of let you see what it looks like and how it works. I might start by saying when you get the toolkit, when you subscribe to the toolkit, we'll cover where to go in a second, but there is training that you'll receive as soon as you sign up that walks you through how to get it installed, how to get it set up, how to run it, detailed walkthroughs about each feature. So we're going to pretend at this point that we've already got it set up and installed, and here it is essentially running in your back office. So the way it works, you can imagine that this top bar, that is your back office header. So these would be your team and your dashboard and business buttons. And this would have been your detailed genealogy. So that's kind of the starting point. You end up log in, you go to the detailed genealogy, and then you run the toolkit, which that's all covered in the training. As soon as you do, this is what shows up after there's a loading sequence, and then this shows up. So I call this kind of like the new detailed genealogy. So this is the first view that you see of your team. And the way this is set up is real intuitive. This is your front line, and we're looking at the sponsor tree here. And all you gotta do is just click on a row, and it expands and shows that person's front line. So this is your level 2. And then you can click again, and that's your level 3, and click again, that's level 4. So you can just keep drilling down. These people don't have. Anyhow, you can keep drilling down into your team while still keeping the context of where they are, what their upline is back to you. For anybody on your team, you've got this info button. This gives you all of the detailed genealogy information, just formatted real nicely, with some extra info, ability to track your favorites to easily reference later. We've got access to a year and a half going back to January of 2018 of order history, so you can see trends and what type of order, especially like for a BOGO month, you can see if they have multiple orders within the same month, like this. And that is, right, that's the information for everybody. You can search, you can filter, look at qualifiers. Everything here is about your team. Here we've got all the volume information. And then there's all the other tools within the toolkit are accessed through this menu. So I'm just going to run quickly through. We've got a commission estimator looking at both the current, projected, and a target rank. So you can see what your commission would actually end up looking like if you hit your projected after all LRP goes through, or a target rank. And then there's a breakdown of dynamic compression at the bottom. We've got rank planner. So here we've got targeting gold or whatever rank you want, and laid out is the structure for gold, and it's pre-filled with all the qualifiers, the best potential qualifiers on your team. And again, these are outlined in red because these people are not projected. They aren't currently, and they aren't projected to actually be, say, a premier or an executive. But at this point in the month, these are the best possible people. So this shows you your highest ranking folks. And as you hover, kind of drop down and see more detail, which is a real intuitive way of navigating around. We've got a Power 3 planner, same thing, same type of interface, just hover to see more detail and keep drilling down. This shows how far away everyone is from their own $50 bonus. Here's the report section, so we've got the different categories, recognition, and then LRP, enrollment, and order-based. For any of these, we can just click on a report, and we're going to see a list of our team members that match whatever that scenario is that the report's describing. And we can actually select these and export them, which is the next piece of the data exporter. So we can take whatever fields we want and export that to a CSV file, which allows us to have a contact list that we can check off, gives us a file that we can import into maybe a email campaign system or a CRM where we want to track our communication with those people. And then there's profiles. So here we've got a ability to manage your subscription, have an auto sync, and then there's going to be some integrations coming in the near future. So that's the toolkit, sort of at a glance. What do you get? So once you subscribe, you're going to get access to the toolkit. You get access to an exclusive Facebook group, so it's a members-only Facebook group where you can ask questions, get additional training, and view additional resources, and just there's a real neat community there. There's a 3-week ish training course. It's not timed, but that's this basic training course, covers every feature in detail. You get a resource guide PDF with screenshots and text description, and then also a video in depth and a checklist of items for every chapter that you can do with your own team to make sure that you're following along and learning each concept. And then there is an ongoing weekly coaching call. So this is for training and support within the Facebook group. So once you're there on Tuesdays, I go live on Facebook, and the format of that might change in the future here. But essentially, it's a place for you to ask questions related to the training that you're going through and get help specific to your team. So in other words, you get a simple system with powerful information and epic support resulting in massive time savings. This is what the toolkit is all about. And it's all meant to drive your business forward. At this point, you're probably wondering, what does it cost? Maybe it's $1 million a month. No, $10 a month. So my goal here, right, is for this to be available and accessible to the masses. So I picture in my mind that if you're elite, premier, and up, this is something that is extremely helpful as you strategize for rank and for growing your business from the beginning in a way that makes sense. So I need the pricing to make sense for those people that are just starting to earn a profit on their business and maybe do a little more than pay for their oils. I want this to be the first thing that they can reach out to and lock in as a business resource. I also have a deal on an annual plan for $100 a year, 2 months off. Can't guarantee this pricing will be around forever, but for now, this is where I feel it is right. People say I'm crazy, but I think it's right. So there's a money-back guarantee. If you sign up, pay up front, get access to the training, get access to the toolkit, you use it within the first month, you go through the training, you've explored the toolkit and it's just not working for you for whatever reason. Let me know, cancel, and you get a refund. I want people to be able to try it, essentially, but I also want to make sure people are actually using it. So this is instead of a trial, it's a money back guarantee. I guarantee if you use it, I think you're gonna love at least some part of it is going to strike you as saving enough time to justify $10 a month. But you be the judge of that. So how do you get started? Simply go to www.backofficetoolkit.net. So it's this site over here. We've got information all about it, video there, screenshots, testimonials. Here's our pricing. You can pick monthly or yearly, and then hit start now. Sign up for a newsletter, and then here's the steps after signing up. Do the installation, go log into your back office, and then you run it. All of this is spelled out in your welcome email and in the training, and it's here, and I think it'll be all right. And we've got, again, support via Facebook or email as well, if you have any issues at all. So that is about it. Come back on here. There I am. Thanks a lot for sticking with this this presentation. I hope to see you within the Toolkit family, and I'll talk to you later.